Spinato Spin coming at you. And this is Wednesday, August the 12th. I noticed a lot of people have birthdays today. Very interesting. Either way we look at it, we want to be positive no matter what we're doing. But one thing I wanted to shine light on real quick here for a few minutes is a phrase that gets kicked around a little bit nowadays, and I really don't understand why. Is something called individualism. When you're an individual, that doesn't mean you're selfish. That doesn't mean you only think about yourself. That means you're thinking about how you can make yourself better. But you're not making yourself better just for yourself. You're making yourself better for everybody. Self improvement, the best definition of that is I'll get better. I'll get better for me so I can be better for you. Let's look at self improvement. Let's look at four basic areas of self improvement. Physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. Let me ask you a question. If someone's stronger and got themselves stronger, they're more beneficial for you. Let's just do a stupid example. How about if you want to move some furniture? Now you got a strong person that can help you. Mentally, a person that reads a lot of books about various subjects, understands a lot, good common sense, very sharp mentally. You never know, might save your life someday. Think about this socially, somebody who's got great communication skills, somebody that works hard about understanding people. The old saying, seek first to understand before you ever can worry about being understood. Those are all social skills. How to overcome yourself when you run into a problem, how to deal with people. The old saying, too, the person that can deal with the most people on their level, and they say it about a big organization, too, but the person that can deal with the most people on their level wins. You have more options, you have more abilities to do things, and have more answers to various problems that come up, various challenges. The other thing is spiritually. You have no idea how powerful infinite intelligence is and the power of God is. If God is that powerful, just take yourself back a second and use your imagination. If He is that powerful, why wouldn't you want to partner with Him? That's common sense. If somebody has tremendous amount of power, you want to partner with them. Well, why not tap into God more? Why not be more involved? And why not ask Him to be more involved in your life and you being more involved in what He's all about? Those are four weapons. They're four incredible strengths. Tower of strength that makes up only one person. One quote I heard makes a lot of sense. It goes like this. It says, individualism allows you to be the strongest person you can be, and there is no limit on how much more life you can produce because of your strength, because of your ability to be the best person you can be. There's a lot of things that happen in the world that happen on a day to day basis that you have no control over. We talked about that a lot of times. You want to worry about things, you don't want to get stressed out about anything. You want to worry about things that you can't control. That's what it comes down to. The more you can control in your life, the better off you'll be. But there is things that you can't control. So you just have to deal with them and work with them to make yourself better. See, the individual is the difference. That individual has to know how much better he can be. I look at it this way too. Think about it this way. We all have a commitment. That commitment to one another to ask them to be the best they can be mentally, physically, I should say physically, mentally, socially, spiritually. You be the best you can be. You try to be the best you can be. And I'll try to be the best I can be. See, Stephen Covey talks about the 7 habits of highly effective people. Well, what's effective mean? If you don't understand what effective means, you can't get any benefit out of that conversation. Effective means that the amount of effort you put into it, the production that you get out of it. That's what it is. If the effort is equal to the production, or if the production exceeds the effort, then you're being extremely effective. How effective is your life? How effective is everything you do on a day-to-day basis? Are you living an effective life? Are you climbing the ladder of success? See, that's another thing too. A lot of people understand. Yeah, you don't eat an elephant in one bite. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. You don't need a whole. You know what I mean? I mean, you gotta take things one step. There's a great saying: inch by inch, it's a cinch, but yard by yard, it's hard. That means you're not looking at it right. Yeah, I heard this one positive self-talk goes like this: I'm really good at breaking large obstacles down into smaller pieces, which are easier to handle, and I never allow any problem appear to be larger than it actually is. See that all these things are stress relievers, but they help you clear all the garbage and all the confusion out and let you zero in on what you really want to try to accomplish. That's the individual. The individual has that ability. The individual can do some amazing things. The individual can sit down kneecap to kneecap with somebody and encourage them to be the best they can be. Bill and I just had a great conversation about people that are willing to go the extra mile, willing to try hard. I heard one thing, great motivational speech in almost like 10 words. It goes, well, you want to improve your life. Well, when you ask for a raise, make sure you did a lot more than you were asked to do. Do more than you're asked to do if you want to get a raise. Because technically, you got a raise, you just didn't get paid for it yet. If all of a sudden you do a tremendous amount of work and you haven't gotten paid for it, think of the experience and the confidence you gain by doing that extra work. That's what you want to look at. And you want to be excited about it. Napoleon Hill talks about this. He said, whenever you do anything and you offer anything to anyone, remember service is first. You are paid for how many people you serve. People say, well, how does an athlete make so much money? Well, he services a lot of people, and people pay him a little bit. It kind of comes down to this. It comes down to this attitude of I will do the best I possibly can to improve your life, because I know down the road, the more I improve your life, the more my life will improve. But you have to be willing to give first. You have to be willing to put in the effort first. You don't get paid before you put in the effort. Look at Tiger Williams, great concept. He got paid a lot of money because he played tremendous golf, and everyone knew he was a rising star, so they hitched themselves to him. Of course, but he put the effort in long before. He's hitting golf balls when he was 4 or 5 years old. He trained, he worked very, very hard for a real long time. A good example of life. Life is a wonderful personal development course with a fantastic compensation package tied on the back end. You can't expect something for nothing. I learned this in college, one of the better courses I took when I was there. This guy was a marketing guy, and he said tin staffel. Nobody really understood what he meant. But what he meant by tin staffel, he says there is no such thing as a free lunch. Remember that. Nobody gives you anything for free. It's not always free. Anything you hear now, you're going to get free this, free that. You're not free. You're paying for it one way or another. You haven't figured it out yet, but you're paying for it. Money just doesn't come out of thin air. Well, understand that in marketing too. Nobody gives you anything for free. You're paying for it. But the question is, when you pay for it, what value are you getting? Take, for example, let's say you got a free tuition. Free tuition on what? Free tuition on how to drive a bus? Maybe you don't want to drive a bus, but you got a free tuition on how to learn how to drive a bus. The heck good does that do you? And as a matter of fact, if you really want to be a business person, if you got it wasn't free because you wasted your time doing it and it didn't get you anywhere. Here's another thing a lot of people don't understand. All you got in this world is two things: what you know and your time. That's it. Those are the assets that you bring to the party. What you know, which basically is your knowledge, right? And your time. We get up, we're born, and then we die. What do we do in between? How do we use our time? The people that make the most money and have the most success found a better way to use their time. That's all there is to it. So, what did they do with what they knew? That's the question. Free education doesn't mean anything if you're not being taught anything or if you can't use it anywhere. Okay, maybe you know how to drive a car on the moon. That's the education you just got. You learn how to drive a car on the moon. Well, when the heck are you going to go on the moon? When are you going to use that? You got to think about these things. You got to study things. You got to walk things back. You got to say, wait a minute. They're going to give me this for what? You got to walk it all the way back. You got to say, what else can I be doing with my time? One of the better questions I've ever heard about a conversation starter. And you can ask yourself this too. Say, what do you do, or what do you do that takes up most of your time? How do you spend most of your time? Supposedly that's a question to ask anybody, because if the person's independently wealthy, you can learn about what they really like in life. Person's out of work, they could tell you that too. What do you do and how do you spend most of your time? What do you do when you're spending time? What do you spend your time doing? And then the other question, obvious question, is what do you like best about it? Now you got to try to lift up their spirits, make them feel better about themselves. What do you like best about it? Well, I like when I get to do this, this, and this. Really? Why? What's that like? Let them tell you about it. That is all from the individual. The individual can develop these tremendous, tremendous assets and can do some amazing things. I think we're about done here. We're going to wrap it up, but keep yourself positive on that note. Remember, you are an individual and you are the best possible individual you can be when you try your hardest to be that best individual. All right, good luck and have a nice night, everybody. Take care. Bye bye now.